Hi, hello. I just thought I'll share some clearing that's coming through now, and it's really interesting when you see where it's coming from. So I thought I'll share this with you because it's actually very important to clear. And those are on the ascension journey to clear this. If you haven't done it yet, you won't realize where it comes from. It's fascinating, actually. Hi. It's fascinating when you see where it comes from, and it's like deep program. We all, if you've been a human for a long time, you're most likely carrying this, and you're unaware of this, right? It's really not good either. So let me tell you what came up. We're going through another big purge. We're going through another shift, another jump up, as everyone knows, and more, it's to embody the true source, to embody source, not this human aspect, to embody the true self, right? So I'm sitting in meditation. Hi. I'm sitting in meditation this morning, and I know there's stuff there. You can feel it. Hi. You can feel this stuff there that needs to come out. You want to cry, whatever it is. You know the stuff to be cleared, and you're like, oh, come on, come on, bring it up. And then it's like, dig into the heart chakra, dig in there. But I can also tell that the conscious mind is trying to avoid it. It's being like skirting around. It knows there's stuff there, but it's like being distracted. Oh, look there, no, do this, eat. You can see this, the habit. So the negative habits were playing up. So I'm thinking, okay, so there's avoidance. So negative habits and distractions and trying to distract you and actually trying to keep me away from doing the work, And I was thinking, this is interesting. So what is there? What is it trying to avoid, coming out, right? It's resistance. So I thought, and luckily this morning, I was given a bit of a hint. Before you wake up, you get this dream, and it's like trying to show you. So as I said, they pay attention to them. It's really interesting, the pattern. So not the actual, don't literally, people take the dream as literal, you see. I think it's to do with that person. Now I've kind of figured out what, I can see the themes. That's how I've managed to do lots of clearing. So there was this ex-boyfriend I had. Well, actually, it's not, they're just the example they used. There was this ex-boyfriend I had, right, that you ran around trying to do everything for. And this, I was in this dream, do you want this? And then, he was sick, and then take that, what about this? And like, absolutely like, all over the person, doing whatever, do this, and no, try that, and I'll, like, like momming in a way, but such a, like really at that, doing anything and everything for that person, like basically whatever you want, just, like the little smurf, right? And I was like, yeah, right, trying to please, putting everybody first before yourself. That I know as a program. So, and I was like, yeah, you're trying to avoid, so you're always trying to help, otherwise put everybody. She says, see, what's coming out now is self-love, self-worth, whatever other things. It's just trying to show you things that, we're not aware of. So this is what we've also been programmed to. It's fascinating when you see some of these things where they come from, and it goes way back in human history, huh? Wow. Like, yeah, right back. And it's not pleasant either when you realize, the intention behind it. But anyway, so I'm thinking, okay, this is interesting. So I'm going around purposely trying to please, do everything for other people, not yourself. You put other people first, not your own well-being. You see, put others' well-being, their care. So you're looking at the self-love, self-nurturing, all these things, right? Because it's very important, because you are source. And you should see yourself as source, which is, I am like, you couldn't get higher or better. I am like so deserving, so worthy, whatever, because that's what you are. And human programs are running completely the opposite. So it's very, like, no, that's ego, that's arrogant, you've been taught. Yeah, I'll tell you why. It's fascinating anyway. So I see this and I'm thinking, this is interesting. So I kind of got when I woke up, I kind of got what they were trying to tell me. See how I was running around trying to do everything, and like, okay, have this, try this, if it's sick, and you're really like looking after them and nurturing them, and exactly, not you. And then I woke up and I'm like, I'm lying there, I'm thinking, this is interesting, because you like dozing. They always show me before I get up, because I don't remember otherwise. And then I see it playing, then I'm like, oh, right, bingo. As you're saying, always trying to put others first before yourself. This is that savior complex empathy thing. But when you realize, and then of course your own health and everything, you don't. You've also taught this. You've been taught it big time. You don't even realize. So serve your husband, your job, your priest, your minister, listen to them, put them first. You don't talk out. So your mother, your husband, your wife, your this, and it's a big program. You always have been taught without even realizing, putting others above you, above your happiness, your health, your well-being. It's like serve others, do others. This whole thing of service too is be very careful of that one, because we all source. So this is a program people don't realize. You've been taught, same with your job. Please your boss, and school, please your teacher. So you've always been taught to put others first before yourself. No. Your health, your well-being, your whatever, no. So you'll go around doing the best for your company, going around doing the best for your partner, going around and not yourself. No. You see, if we don't put ourselves first, we can't put others the same. We're also going to wear ourselves out, and you can't give what you're not of. Everybody is source, and if everybody stood in their true source, nobody would be going around, playing martyr to anybody. There wouldn't be any martyrs. We would all be standing in our true power, our true thing. There wouldn't be any victims, any of this nonsense. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to go and save anyone. There wouldn't be. They'd be behaving. They know they have their power. Anyway, you're supposed to be... Those that are waking up in this ancient are going to set this example for those to follow. This is the whole thing. You need to stand in that example so others can, if you hold that frequency, will learn. It's like you're anchoring in or setting the timeline, whatever. Setting the future, really. So there we are. That was interesting, and I was like, oh wow, and I have. Oh my gosh, I always put my work, my company, never mind the hours, health. Oh, don't worry about me. Look at me. I mean, I had physically this physical body had burnouts, like literally. I remember my 30s, complete burnout, absolute physical burnout. I mean, all kinds of shit. Lots of warnings, but we ignored them. Doctors and so much. No. So there's many. Okay, so you had all this shit, right? That one was fascinating. So I had lots of. Well, anyway, I realized, okay, I've done that big time, always, and everybody first, and you was like worrying about them. You never ever cared about yourself or thought about your own feelings or your own anything. It wasn't like, no, I want to get pampered. It was like, oh, I'll do whatever. Please them. This please everybody, thing. So, okay, yeah, that one was obvious, but I just, you hadn't seen it, and when you see it, like, oh, wow, shit, I really did. Was completely unaware of it. Not like you were aware. It wasn't like you're trying to be nice and goody two-shoes, but you were really, like, putting yourself out there for everyone and never putting yourself first, your own needs, worth, health, anything. People often do. Work ridiculous, hours, and, I'm an absolute example of that one, like, big time. I was like, oh, and even now you're thinking, right, you're running around trying to, same with this void healing, and trying to tell everybody else, and still like trying to lead humanity through this, okay, and I'm always trying to help, but that's a leadership thing in me, always take on, and my staff as well, then you got to look after our staff, and always put others first. That's not a bad quality, I'm not saying, it's a nice thing to be that, but I'm always like, this shit hits the fan, and there I am trying to tell everybody and help everybody. That's just me. It's just in mine. But it's not. It's a lovely quality in a way. So I don't mind that. But it was also to the detriment of my health that I actually left the body. That I got to anyway. And just don't worry. You just keep going. And this is what most humans do. Take a tablet. So we got to the thing where we allowed it so much that we just look at people. 3 jobs. They're overworked. They're not happy. So this got to the extreme in humanity. You can see it. I don't worry about you. You would just let yourself to be exploited so badly. People working like 0-hour contracts, no matter what hours. Your working hours, there are no limits, no holidays, no health, no money. So look at people. It just got to, we were just like doormats to the extreme. Oh no, just could you sacrifice. And this, I'm going to tell you where this program comes from. You're going to be quite shocked. And it's entangled to more than one thing, right? So you need to clear that thing that are putting others, okay? Putting others before you, your self-worth, yourself. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. And it just got worse and worse over the time. They wanted to cut more and more, so you had less things, less money, less, well, this is what's going on. Look at people. The people are now, saying, no, thank you, we had enough of this inequality nonsense. But this is what I'm saying. This is a program running big time in people, huh? So there we are. There's one. You realize you're putting everything else before yourself. No, your health. Do not put others. Okay, you do not put others before you. Their happiness, their well-being. No, you are taught that. To please others, to put so your heart, your things, you do not put anything else above your love, your happiness, your health, your heart, your anything. Okay, nothing. All right, you don't sacrifice for others. Okay, because there are sources that need to learn. So there's one. You need to clear that. All right, so you stand in that. Your love, your worthiness, your boundaries, your health, you do what you want. You do not bend it for other people to please other people, all right? No, you say, no thanks, sorry. I want to sit here in the sun, whatever, you pamper yourself. We got to learn to nurture self. This is to do with self-love and nurturing, all right? Huge lesson here, because, I was the prime example of what I'm telling you now, which is going to be cleared, like, big time. Look at me. The poor body is like, ooh. Anyway, it really took a pounding and anyway, I worked ridiculous. It was ridiculous what I used to do. So, it's poor body. I'm amazed. I'm actually got so much love and appreciation for this body. What I put it through. Wow, just pushed it, always to the limit. Anyway, there we are. So doormat number one, right? Get rid of the doormat thing. We don't do the doormat, all right, and clear that right throughout. So I'll do it. I'll do what I said to you. I try and remember. I'll do a clearing. Just please remind me at the end how I go through my clearing, so you visually see it and you know it's completely gone. Right? You got to go through it bit by bit and do the whole thing. So then there's another one. Guess what? Humble. I bet you now. This is going to be many people on this awakening path, starseeds, so-called, light workers, whatever else, anyone, healers, shamans. This one you're going to think. And it's still, I say it's a huge program we're holding. There's a lot of resistance there because you've been so, and I'll tell you where this program comes from. Humble. No, don't just play humble. Be small. You're going to be humble because you're taught humble is spiritual. This is a program goes way back in humanity, and it's not where you think it comes from. That's why it's also in the Bible. Humble. You were taught to be humble. The meek inherit, Why? Because those that had other agendas going way back, that wanted you to sort of play down so you could worship them, right? This whole thing of worshipping, higher other beings and other gods and kings and queens. This is where it came from. Got the crumbs. Be glad that that we'll give you a crumb. If you remember Marie Antoinette that got beheaded, was the same thing. Give them cake. Let them eat cake. So this also comes from the church and comes from those few that, exactly had rich. They ran around. They were not humble. They ran around in their gold cloaches and rode over people. But the majority of people were taught to be, they were basically had nothing. This is where it comes from. And they didn't even own land. You couldn't even hunt on the land that belonged to the king or the queen or this and that, whatever. So you were taught just to accept your scraps and be grateful that you were even given scraps. So this came into this also from the Bible. Be humble, they told you. Play down. You should be lucky if you even go to heaven. This was a program, all right? Program going back to way back when the first beings came in, pretended and allowed you to worship them. You forgot that you were told, they didn't tell you your source. They didn't want you to know your source. You see, so you would just assume. So this program then runs through the church. It came through the church, same thing. It also, if you look carefully, runs for schools and things. So no. That job is just be grateful that you do these jobs. Be grateful for you do. Don't aim too big. Don't, no. Just take that job. You're probably not going to do that. You probably won't be good enough. You probably won't pass. You probably, this being humble. It's a misconception, okay? You're not. You've been taught and programmed to play small. So a few could shine and play big, but we are the crown. We are this. We are, and who are you? You see, and this is why you worship those that stand out there and maybe become famous. Because this is really who you are. So no, you guys just play small, and a few of us will get big. We'll make the money. We'll be famous. We'll be this. This humble thing is a program to suppress you, to keep you from shining, because as source, you are all. You create everything. You are limitless. And they didn't want you to, you see, because if you become limitless, they haven't got that thing. There's no I'm here and you there. All right. This is to keep you. So you just take your salary and take your little tidbits and you would be happy. So this being humble, yeah, is not something you're supposed to aspire to. But it is a big block because it's in the scriptures. You see, so people think, oh no, be humble. Don't do that. Just play small. You were taught to that as well because others' projection didn't want you. So when you stood up there, even kids, you'll see you were taught to suppress your, don't shine. Because if you shine, you're suppressing my light. Then you're outshining me. So don't be prettier than your sister. Don't be better than so-and-so because then I'll feel like shit. So you'll see that if you go through it carefully, when you release this, you'll see it comes from family, friends, siblings as well. Because if you are too hey, you're doing too well, I'm shining, you say other people get upset and jealous, friendships, you lose friends because, oh no, you think you're too good or you think you're better than us. Or you see, this is a way because their self-projection. So that you kept trying to pull down, fit into your groups. Don't shine more than me. Don't be prettier than me. Don't be a better singer than me. Don't be a whatever, you see. So always you'll see right through, even as a child, your lifetime, where you've pushed yourself down so you wouldn't shine. You wouldn't, be successful, be that bright star, be the prettiest, be the happiest, be the loudest, because you didn't want to make the other person feel bad. So you have always suppressed your light. No, we're supposed to shine as them. So there we are. This humble thing, no. It also suited the few, you see, because if you were humble, you wouldn't ask for too much. You wouldn't expect too much. You weren't going to want the big bucks. You weren't going to try and compete. You know what I mean? There we are. In those days, there was a few that had a lot of wealth. So you wouldn't get too greedy. You would just be, okay, now you just, same, think about it. Even your parents, especially go from the Victorian ages, you didn't ask. Be lucky if you had a biscuit. Don't ask. It's greedy. Wait until you're offered something. That comes back from the Victorian days. You were offered it. You were lucky to be offered. You don't dare ask. Ask for a piece of cake or cookie. Wait for them to offer it to you. So this is always, you've always been taught to not to shine, okay? To suppress yourself. All right, there we are. So there's a program. Humble, chuck it out. And I battled with this because I was thinking, no, I want to be humble. And you ask, even especially on the spiritual path, you're thinking, no, okay, humble, let me be humble. And this is a quality you seek as a spiritual on the spirit. And it's been in the scriptures and all things, even yogis. Look at that programming. They don't remember where it comes from. It goes way back, human history. You were suppressed. So this comes to all scriptures, all teachings to be humble. No. It's forgotten where it comes from. And it goes through, even in Buddhism, it's not correct, actually. Because that's exactly why. You are suppressing source. Source is not. So it's putting you in a box. You are limiting. And source is limitless. So this is and it goes way back, way back to those beings that came here, that in Atlantean times. This is why it's even in our scriptures in Vegas when they played, let's say, gods. You see. Humanity's been messed with a lot, all right, by someone. Then them took over. Then it was royalty took over. Lanterns, and then they've survived those. Same nonsense, all right. So there we are. It's oppression of one, so one can shine more than me. Humble, remove that. You're not supposed to be humble. You're not supposed to suppress your light. You are source. You are limitless. And you create all. So you have suppressed that. Okay. So there's another thing you need to release. Get rid of that program that you need to be humble. It's good to be humble. You suppress yourself. No, it's nonsense. It was to suppress you as source creators. All right. You weren't aware that you are source. So you are all that is. You are limitless by nature, by being, by what you are, by your consciousness. So there's no limit. So you can create anything and everything. And if you knew that as a human, there would be exactly, then there would be none that could have that more than you power or whatever control over you. See, this is where it comes from. For those that always try to rule over others, going right through the entire human existence. All right. There we are. When you forgot that you were source anyway, when you dropped in consciousness, okay. So no, humble is not a program you're supposed to be running. It's not a quality. It's not a divine quality. Because source is not humble. Source is. It doesn't have to be. Source just is all. You are everything. You are all that is. You create all that is. You are abundant by nature because you are everything. You create and can be anything. This is what I think those didn't want you to realize. You can be and have anything. So you were taught, no, you can't. So we have limited ourselves. So we think we can't. This is why you think you don't create anything. You think, no, I can't. I'm not worthy of that. I should just be happy with the job I have, with the money I have, with the position I have. I can't have anything I want. Yes, you can have anything and everything you want. These programs are what stopped you. Be humble. No, you are not. You can't. You must play small. So basically it's taught you to play small. All right. Serve others. Be grateful. Be humble. Be, go down there, worship. Same. This is where the whole worship thing and the teachings of biblical, it still goes in, and it's unfortunately it's in all of them, yogis, Vedas, scriptures. Where does that worshipping others come from? Beings, these original beings, you see, that played. They were also not, they were removed off the planet. It came here and then they got a bit dropped into the ego. And this whole thing, so this is where you worship my teacher, worship my yogi, worship my this, worship something else. No, you are our source. All of you are pure source energy. We're going back. So this worshipping other over you is a no. No teacher, guide, yogi, this idea of worshipping comes from there, okay? It's a program to keep you from, reaching your full potential, that's it. You are limitless. You are source, and this is where you're going. So no, don't suppress yourself. Don't think you can't have anything and everything. And this is just what I'm saying, because it's run through everything, siblings, family. So when you try to do better than your sister, she would get upset, or be prettier than your best friend, or you got more attention than your friend, she would get upset. So you were always playing yourself down to please others. You must stop doing this. All right. Self-love, self-acceptance, self-worth. Not, but anyway, don't worry because people think, oh my gosh, then I'm going to be arrogant. No, you won't be. Because as source, as you develop that self-love, source hasn't got that quality. There is no arrogance in source. There is no, because you know everybody's source. So the more you stand in the true self, the true source, you know that we are source. They have as much, they're equal to you. If they want, they can create whatever they want. And by you standing in your truth, you are showing them, you are an example to this. You are pulling them up, you see. By holding your true vibration as source, the more you embody the real source, the more you pull others up. There will be no suppression. There will be no underdogs at all. But it doesn't benefit some to do this, you see. Those that always wanted to have some kind of thing, be, like the Pope or the King or the this or the that or whatever they were, Atlantean, it was the Palladians back then, the way back, but they were from other star systems when they came here to originally use humans. There's many things that will come out in the future. So this is where the story, and it comes from worship, be humble, no, nonsense program. Okay, and do not put others first. You must put yourself, your self-love and everything first, and your health and everything, because you cannot otherwise give, you see. All right. You can. You are not limited. So you do not accept this whole thing so I'm trying to think which ones I had to clear. So these are all to do with this. First of all, that program and belief that I need to be humble. No. Okay, release and clear any belief, programs, thought waves, patterns of being humble. just that I can't, that I'm not limitless, that I have to accept what I get, that I can't have anything and everything. Because this is blocking a lot of people from also manifesting, because they haven't cleared those programs. So yes, I manifest, but they have deep down this program through many centuries of just be like saying this comes from the church and all those sort of things. Accept what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Don't ask for too much. You see, just, oh no, I'm happy with my little house. I'm happy with just that. You know what I mean? No one says you want a mansion. You don't have to go out and, I mean, you probably like me. I'm not interested in manifesting one. It doesn't matter. But that program is there. It blocks you. You see, that it's limiting. You've got a limitation, and you don't have any limitations, because you are all. You can create all and be all and have anything you want. And when you stand in the true self, you'll only be guided to what your true being is. Not all of us are going to want to run around and be, famous anyway. No interest in it. Or manifesting money, material. It's just not. The true source hasn't got that materialistic thing anyway. So don't fear. So it blocks you thinking, oh no, you're not. You won't be. You see, it's not in your path. You're not going to seek materialism to the extreme anyway. But it's just a limitation. You need to remove the limitations. Yes, you can have anything you want, literally. You're creating. You create all. You are all. So you are limitless as source, because source is everything. You are abundant by nature. You are all. You create all. You can have anything you want and create anything you want. There we are. Okay, people. Interesting. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that came out. Get rid of that nonsense that you were taught to, like, be grateful for what you have. I'm going to be grateful for what I have. This whole thing. I'm thankful just because I have a roof over my head. But no, and most people are still pushing it out there. They don't realize where the program comes from. You don't have to be grateful. Yes, I mean, you do. You thank you anyway. I love it. You're going to be naturally. No one says gratitude's a problem. I mean, I get up. I love the view. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the fresh air. Thank you for the blue sky. Thank you for my food. You're going to do it anyway, because why? We all know we source. So we thank the air, the water, the beings, because we all one. We love them. We thank them from love. We don't thank them because we got to be grateful. There's a difference. Understand the difference. We don't say thank you because thank you that I have it, just in case it's going to be taken away. Like that you were taught. This is a program you were taught from scriptures going way back by these beings. You see in the crown, when they threw a few scraps, be happy for those few pennies. You see, it goes way back into our history, human history, way back. Nope. All right. We know we do it from love, because we know we're part of all, you see. So we thank the sun, we thank the water, we thank the plants, all the things, because that's just who we are. But being grateful is a very different. We should be lucky that you've got that. Oh, you should be lucky you have a place to stay. No, that's a program that's been put into human consciousness. Delete it, all right, from that aspect. No playing small, no dimming yourself, no putting others first, no playing, no going out there having to save the world to please everybody, and you're going to burn yourself out. Love, nurture yourself. Nothing comes before you. No one comes before you. No one is more important, deserves more, gets more than you, because they're all you. And you're not doing them a favor by, say, self-love, you come first, nurture self-love. Get rid of that bullshit about being humble. It's not a spiritual thing at all. It's not source at all. It's right throughout our entire human evolution almost. All right, there we are. Now you know where it comes from. Fascinating, actually. It's like, oh wow, when you see right throughout, and see where this comes from, where the seeding of it comes from, and the intention of it comes from. Right through. I mean, it goes way back, before our remembered history. That's why it's even in all these scriptures in Buddhism. You see, you were you were not taught you were source equal to any, all, what you actually are. So you were given like that much of the teachings, but then a little bit was just, kept out there. Only for the few. Always, you see. All right. All right, people, there we are. Fascinating. It was really interesting doing this. All right. So no, we're not supposed to push our light down. We're not supposed to be grateful for what we have. Play small to be happy with just a little bit you have, and you should be glad that you have food on your table. No, that's a very old suppressive program by humans for those that had the gold and you had the biscuit or the bread, you know what I mean? It suited, you see. There were many there, and there were the worker bees, you know, and the queen bees didn't want to, you know, this is the whole thing, this inequality nonsense, you see. And if you have that program, you're suppressing yourself because you are not suppressed by anything. You see, but if you hold that, you're going to be like, oh no, I'm just so grateful I've got something. So you're blocking yourself, your consciousness. It's just and you're stopping your manifestations. You're limiting yourself and all. I am a limitless being. I am pure source energy, pure consciousness. By nature, I'm abundant. I am all that is. I can have anything and I can create or have anything I wish or desire because I am all of it. That part was left out of the teachings. All right, lovely people, there we are. That was an interesting morning for me. And to see, wow, I mean, I did this so big time. I remember. I mean, I can. So many those examples I can see from my grand, from this, from that. I mean, you know, I remembered as kids, you were taught be thankful, be grateful for what you have, and you know, being humble. The meek will inherit the world. Bullshit. Absolutely not. Did they inherit the world? No, it was just to keep you believing, to keep you down there. So as I say, they could the wealth. You know, they could suck all the wealth. Oh my goodness, we'll have everything, and you know, as Marie Antoinette was a classic example. You know, yeah, there we are. Showed everybody. Wow, great. There was a classic. Yeah, interesting that. So there we are. Okay, no, humble is not a spiritual thing whatsoever. It was taught. It was actually to cap you. All right, because you are source. How can source be humble? Source just is. Source creates. Source is everything. You are even part of this creating everything on this earth. All right. But if you don't stand in your true power, you're not going to then be the leaders and the example for the rest of the planet. That's why you are the way showers, the light star or the star seeds. To embody this, we need to be our true selves. Why? To hold that frequency, you're pulling others up. You see, you're reminding them, you're leaving that for them to step into. All right, people. Limitless. We are limitless, divine, beautiful beings. All right. Oh, yeah. So put yourself first. Treat yourself like gold. Okay. Now this is a huge change for me. Woo. Who did not do this at all. Very different program. Wow. I mean, look at my poor health. Oh my gosh, my body. I literally put everybody, anything, and have always, you know, even that going through the thing, and I'm out there trying to help, you know, guide humanity and do this and do that. I was always, you know, massive love. That part I've got no problem with. I love it. I love that I've got a wonderful heart, lots of compassion and so much love. That's just the way. But there's also, to my detriment, I've got to learn to balance, because as I say, I mean, wow, I was like, you know. There was an imbalance. I never put me first. Everybody else, instead of saying it was such a deep program, was worth it, was more. I would give my life for other people. Big time. Nothing wrong with that either. But I mean, I've offered that as well. I'm like, I'll take the bullet. You know, here we are. You go behind me. You know? But it's not a bad thing. But as I say, you forget, if you didn't understand you are source and all are source, you think you need to do this. You see. So we could not then stand, and we did not up. I mean, we just did harm to ourselves. Anyway, as I say, it's a lot of, everything is backwards, really. I mean, wow, if you realize that, everything is backwards. Yeah, well, look at my poor health. Anyway, never mind. And exactly, we stopped ourselves from ever being abundant, happy, peace. Well, you know, oh no, please, that one. Look at school, the kids still do it. You fit in. Don't you dare like try and outshine the other girls. I'll get upset. Or don't you dare, you know, whatever, fit in. You know, you want to. And if you did, look at your friends all jump on them, jump on that person. Oh, she thinks she's, whatever. Jealousy, you see, because they are such a running a program. So we need to set the example. All right. And hold these frequencies so we can uplift because we all source, remind them of who they are, what they are. There we are. You don't see the crown running around being humble. You don't see old, many of these people, Gates, Rothschild, they don't play humble. Oprah, they don't play humble. That's why people look at people, they all worship them. I want to be like that because you were taught, no, you can't be. It's only a few lucky people. Be lucky with you know what I mean? No. You don't push yourself so someone else can shine. You do not suppress yourself. All right. So others can shine. You be out there. The whole idea, this is what stopped us. Shine as brightly as you can, and you will shine. We're all different. We're all different aspects of self and have different qualities. But to us to stand in our highest timeline, our best, we need to. Okay. So pull those plugs out so you can be that unique and shine. Don't suppress your light for anything or anyone or your greatness. All right. Go for gold. All right, people. That was a very interesting morning. Wow. And I've seen some very interesting things even where they come from. So we often, and even that's why it's sad, that's an old epoch. All our old teachings are still from the old epoch. They have some good things in them, but they still are not. They're teaching you to be humble and accept the outside world as it is, and know you're creating it. So, oh no, well, things are bad and life is bad and we should just be happy and we should just, be humble and be, no. And worship your yogi, worship this, worship, no. See, this is why they were taught, because they were taught from those beings that were teaching them, and they were, okay, I'm going to be your teacher, follow me around, and you a chosen one. No, this is nonsense, okay? It's nonsense programming from those had fallen in consciousness, okay? All right. Out of the heart as well. Bye. Lovely people, all right? You have a great day, morning, evening, wherever. I'll upload this to YouTube. It needs to get shared. It was a great awakening, a great eye-opener for me. Anyway, never mind.